This is my journey to the highest peak of the Philippines, Mount Apo, the pinnacle of goals of any hiking and climbing enthusiast in the Philippines. This is a 3 days journey, so the video is quite long. But to sum it off, I cried when I got to the summit. I was so emotional because I was realizing my goal. But that's going ahead of the story of my whole experience, which I'm gonna share with you. The big day finally came as off from our house in Johnson at 3:15 a.m. We got to meet the rest of the climbers around 5 a.m. in Digos. So we had our breakfast in one of the carinderias in Kapatagan before heading to the jump off site. So and by around 7:24 a.m. we headed to City Kulan via an elf truck. We reached Kulan Dam at around 8 a.m. before making the final trek to jump off area. And there we were welcomed by the first steep ascent, which made me ponder about what more awaited for us. Our trek began at exactly 9:15 a.m. and started as sort of a chill hike at first. Hey, yes, Hannah, Gio. We were winded after a few minutes of a trek, so we had our first stop here. Then we spent the rest of the next 4 to 5 hours getting to our first stop in Kamtinikaran. Oh, oh, oh my god. And you will hear these kind of sounds during the journey, the chirps of the birds and crickets, the creaking of the trees. It's a praising noise into the woods.
So here's our Tito. Hoy, Tito Siman! Say hi. We are at Tinakaran Camp. Ulit. Edan na.
At around 1:30 p.m., we arrive at the first camp where we will spend the rest of our night. So it was slightly raining. It was cold. We waited for our porter for more than 30 minutes so we can pitch in our tent and spend a well needed afternoon rest. And then we were served with the best coffee we could have in Mount Apo. So they were our tour guides. They were preparing for our dinner. They were so cool. Mga kulukoy gyud kaayo. They were so fun to be with. And the source of water spring so cold.
Kalakasan po ng aming pangangatawan po, Panginoon, upang matapos po namin itong summit, Panginoon. Maraming salamat po sa paggabay niyo po sa amin sa pag-akyat sa araw na ito, Panginoon. Ito po ang aming pusong pasasalamat sa pangalan ni Jesus na ang tagapagligtas.
Smoke bangus, Sarangani Bay Brand, Premium bangus. And it's 2:30 a.m. wake up call.
May mga asma, pasain nyo lang yung tube mask nyo or kung may mask kayo para hindi ganong makapasok. Tapos, from here to come to forest yan, expect obstruction sa taas. Then, hawakan.
We started the climb at around 2:40 a.m. The climb seemed endless and it was scary and difficult. It felt like an endless assault. I got winded, catching up breath, Negotiating the assault before heading the boulders was literally going up with no return. Here is Kuya. Kuya, what's your name?
Dudong!
Dudong! And he don't look back as it only frighten you. You just have to focus on how to get to the top completely. It's feel like there's no end, no limit. You just keep climbing and climbing. So at 4 a.m. we reached the face of the boulder. It was formidable, very intimidating. So getting past the boulder is as arduous and dreaded. Idiomatically, while you may be on solid rock ground, it will rock your guts. If you're not calculating, of course. So with occasional pungent sulfur fumes escaping through the rock gaps that penetrates through your nose to the challenge. And at 5:22 a.m., we reached the rock tower of the boulders where we had our first stop. We were greeted by the orange hue sunrise, which was so majestic. So this may be two contrasting statements, but despite the difficulty encountered, the 3-hour ascent through the boulder was like a walk in the park, literally with more grandeur. The magnificent sunrise all greeted us as we viewed it with awe. So we continued with the endless boulder climb until we reached the white sand without a beach. Ikam.
Kami katulog.
Kaya kita mabot sa amin ron ah. Tulogin mo dito.
Ay, tita!
There we found green bushes and berries, which was so Instagrammable. And then I took a rest, prepping up myself for the 87 degrees ascent. 87 degrees. My gosh. This is the 380 degrees.
Diri-diri ka side dito. Kwatos lang.
Then, with strong gusts of wind, we braved the climb to the 87 degrees. What is scary was you feel like being blown away while negotiating it. Then finally, the majestic crater of Mt Apo came like a surprise for surviving the treacherous climb. We felt triumphant. The beauty of nature in mossy green and a placid lake of Apo's crater. Not only Mount Apo is the highest peak, it is the wonder of God's creation. And finally, the summit of Mount Apo. It was an emotional realization. A dream come true, and I couldn't almost believe it. I cried. And then for a moment, my energies all came back and I felt rejuvenated. And then I took the opportunity to scale all Mount Apo's 3 peaks, and I had to savor the moment. This Mount Apo journey will be forever a special chapter in the chronicles of my journey in life. True to its reputation as the highest peak in the country, scaling Mount Apo wasn't a walk in the park. The journey was marked by 5 to 12 hours treks for 3 full days in the harshest of conditions that really pushed me to the limits of my physical strength. It was out of the ordinary of my daily routine, but the feeling of fulfillment when you reach its summit is beyond measure, something that overcomes you with emotions. Indeed, when you achieve something after pouring in your energies, time, and resources, it really boosts your self belief, brings to a higher level your confidence, and raises the bar of what you want to achieve next. But we don't forget that in all this, all the accomplishments that we have, we do not forget that without God's protection and providence, you would not be successful. Okay, time for our descent. Feeling so fulfilled, but more beautiful things still awaited us. A drizzle came by after we scaled the last three peaks, and the whole summit was shortly engulfed with fog. It's foggy afternoon. It's 12 noon. Oh, Mount Apo.
Dapat yung mamili kang CR ganun. Sa CR magkuhan, tambay-tambay pa magmuli mo. You are my everything. Ano background?
As difficult as it was going up its summit, descending from it was as knee-breaking as it could get, with very slippery downward trail which we negotiated for the next 2 hours. So going a steep descent was really a struggle for me, but thanks God I survived. Our prize, the mystic of Lake Venado, which was our last stop on day 2. It was simply refreshing despite the 2:30 a.m. wake-up call that day, as we settled at the Mirror View Lake at little past 3 p.m. So the place where the lake is another wonder of nature spectacle. So dead tired and feeling a little feverish, I slept early around 6 p.m. So after putting all the essentials, I was so tired. So I slept straight from 6 to 4:20 a.m. the day after. And now prepping for our homeward bound. To keep us going, Sarangan ni Bibang Moon.
Oh, nice kayong celebration ba sa Mount Apo?
Thank you sa pag-invite mo sa amin.
We began the day with breakfast, and by 9 a.m. we began our final descent. Pictures. Then we came across the Almasiga Century Tree, the silent witness to many journeys of men and women who came before me to Mount Apo, and also a witness to the many seasons and events in the highest peak. So the tree is so large that it would take at least 10 people to embrace its diameter. Into the woods, into the woods. To the woods.
Sa oras sa kanika.
Sugay to eh.
The mossy forest we were in brought us to a place only movies can offer, but was a reality to us. So it became part of a glorious memory of this whole experience. By around 3 p.m., we finally arrived on Lowlands. So I cried again because a wonderful lifetime experience is in my books. I did it. I look up to where we came from and muster to myself, Mount Apo, indeed, you are everything.